Just 35 minutes after the final horn had blown on last Saturday's soccer game, Coast Guard Academy sophomore Will Leffler had traded his goalie gloves for shoulder pads and was lining up for his first punt of the Bears football game. At his Florida high school, Leffler played soccer in the spring and football in the fall. In his first year as a backup on the Coast Guard soccer team, he found a way to get some extra playing time.
Will was recruited as a soccer player, and then he got here, and we last year had a starting goalkeeper who was a 4-year starter. And he said, "Coach, I think I might want to punt too." And the football team didn't have a punter. He went out there and knocked a few balls, and they were like, "Yeah, we'd love to have you."
It's very unusual, but again, we're such a small school. You take, the good advantages where you can get them, and that's what we did.
Leffler reserves 2 days a week for football, Tuesday special teams practice and Saturday game days, and spends the rest of the week with the soccer team.
The good thing about him is I don't have to worry about him much. He does take his stuff seriously. So if I don't see him for 2-3 days as at soccer, he knows which days we kick. We'll be able to set that up most definitely during the routine now. To do this, you have to be very self-disciplined. And I think he is that kind of kid. He knows guys on both teams are counting on him, and he has to live up to that.
On Saturday, both teams played against their rivals from the Merchant Marine Academy. Leffler, the backup keeper, was inserted for the final 15 minutes of a 1-0 game, where overtime might have stretched to coincide with the start of the football game. Leffler kept the ball out of the net, but the Bears failed to tie it. A quick sprint up the hill had him in uniform in time for kickoff.
I figured if we went into overtime, I was sticking around for that. Shackelford could easily pick up the punting if it needed to be done.
And he's a talented kid, and we'll try to work it out as best we can for as many games. And I think it'll be a unique situation, and we'll get him for some games. We got him for this game, which was extremely important. He is a weapon. He's a talent. He's at an academy, and this is an experience we can't deny. It'll make him a better officer in the long run.
It's worked out, I think, incredibly well for both programs so far. The difficulty will come in the end when he is the starter and they've got football games. Then we're going to have to maybe sit down and schedule our games so that he can get to both of them.